Now, in this video, we are going to discuss about the design thinking is intuitive thinking. So, what does it mean? So, here, design thinking is a systematic approach that enforces the combination of intuitive, means the designer, and analytical thinking. So, they are the business people and the engineers. That is the outcome. When it comes to analytical thinking, there are two lines of reasoning. Number one, deductive reasoning, which is useful to make a sense of new information based on existing knowledge. That means we are trying to search for a better information, that is, new information which we want based on our existing knowledge. Then deduction is the logical reasoning that, using a general rule, infers a conclusion after observing an event or finding an evidence. That means after going through the logical reasoning and then observing what all the event which has been happened, and to that event we want to find out the evidences. That is what they do in the deduction. A crucial task with deductive reasoning is to select the appropriate rule to apply and then confirm or refute the conclusion. So that means to draw a conclusion. So finally we want to follow this procedure, or I want to follow this. So in order to apply that particular conclusion, so we need to have the crucial task with deductive reasoning. So for that we need to have to select the appropriate rule to apply. Then inductive reasoning means it is a logical reasoning that infers a rule. It is based on observation of the cause and effect. It's purely based on the observation which we made for the cause and effect. So that is what is inductive reasoning. Inferred rule is credible given the premises and follows the theory of evidence. In inductive logic, any new evidence consistent with existing beliefs and mental models reinforces the beliefs and mental models, while other evidence is simply considered anomalous. So that means in an inductive logic, so we have the existing beliefs and also the mental models. So that has been to be considered for the new evidence which are inconsistent, reinforces. That means he is able to reinforce the belief and the mental models, while other evidence is simply considered. Therefore, the inductive logic can prevent individuals from interpreting evidence in alternate ways. It lacks intuitive thinking, that is the design thinking. So it will going to prevent. So therefore what we say from this is inductive reasoning or inductive logic, which will going to prevent the individual interpreting the evidences. But design thinking starts with intuitive thinking. So intuitive, that is the designer's thinking, will going to start by the design thinking starts from the intuitive thinking, and intuitive thinking is based on abduction reasoning that infers and proves an explanatory hypothesis, that is the sudden and explanatory hypothesis for a body of recently discovered observations. So whatever the observations you have made recently, that will going to be proves an explanatory hypothesis. For example, abduction happens when a product manager suggests an explanatory hypothesis to account for the patterns and insights observed in the user behavior data collected on a mobile application. So that means when the analysis has been done, or when the process of collecting the data is done on the mobile application, then the product manager will going to suggest a explanatory hypothesis. That means the analysis what he wants. He analyzes the data what he has been got from the mobile application, and he will going to suggest some hypothesis which is not been there. Suddenly he will going to make a new observation which is hypothetical. Such type of things will going to be the abduction. So that will going to be the consideration for this. If the hypothesis is validated, so whatever the selection or whatever the suggestion he has given which is validated, once it becomes validated, then it becomes a rule. So that means that feeds deductive thinking for a larger group of users. Therefore, there are two types of abductive reasoning. So one is the explanatory abduction is used when we observe an anomalous or surprising event. So that means whatever the normal event which will going to be takes place, which will not be there, but it is with some surprising event by which we infer hypothesis to explain the new observation. So then, since it is a surprising event, he will not going to have a particular rule to be followed. So then he will going to make the new observation based on to infer a new hypothesis. He will going to observe and analyze the data. By using that, he will going to make a new observation. So explanatory abduction gives sense to new observed behavior and data collected. So innovative abduction is used when we don't know the means to achieve the desired outcome. It is used when you don't know the means to achieve the desired outcome. So here we infer two hypotheses. One that connects the strategic option to the desired outcome, and one that connects a strategic option to its implementation. One is to have the outcome and the other one is to implementation or the mode of operation. The desired outcome is the only given or known data point. The strategic option explains what should exist to achieve the desired outcome, and the mode of operation explain how the strategic option will be realized and executed. Innovative abduction lead to a strategic option and its implementation method to deliver the new outcome. So whenever the product has to be developed, when you want to have a new outcome, so that you will going to have the better performance of the object or the product. In such cases, we are going to have the strategic option and its implementation method. So this is how you will be able to explain about the abductive intuitive thinking. In the next video, we are going to discuss about the three phases of design thinking. Thank you.